Hi and welcome to a new episode of the Radiant Woman podcast. Today we will speak about the art of saying no. Do you have difficulty in saying no? Are you afraid of saying no? Do you feel guilty when saying no? Do you have people who are so good at manipulating you and pressuring you that you can't help but saying no? Well, let's have a talk about it. It is normal in any relationships to negotiate the terms of the relationship, and therefore sometimes you'll say yes to some things and sometimes you'll say no to other things. But when you start saying no too many times and you feel that it's not good for you, you start feeling more and more frustrated, you start feeling like you lose again somehow, then something is not all right there. Of course, there are different degrees. Sometimes even when we are not exactly in the mood for doing something that somebody else is asking us to do, we say yes, even if we don't feel like it so much, simply because we love the other one, we want to make the other one happy, we are kind people, we have a common sense reason for that. But when we say no to our own detriment too many times, then we have to rewrite the script there, because till the end it will build up resentment, it will build up certain frustration, it will also lower our self-respect and self-esteem. So the art of saying no means actually that we use some of our inner qualities, like for example, discernment. We need to assess and come to a conclusion when it is healthy to say yes, even in those situations or in those relationships where we would actually want to say no, but it is, for a certain point of view, it is all right to say yes and just go ahead and do it. And when it is necessary to say no, because if we say yes, we will make a compromise, we will do something which is not good for our own integrity. So we can switch the perspective, we can shift the perspective and think in the following manner. The art of saying no actually means saying yes to the opposite. If somebody comes and asks you for something which you know for sure, according to your core values, that it will imply to make a big compromise, and you will not be happy about it. You will have problems when you speak with your own consciousness. Then saying no to that big compromise is actually saying yes to the opposite, the beneficial aspect of it. So, for example, if I'm just taking maybe a little bit funny example, but let's say that somebody wants you to speak dirty. It's not your style, it's not according, it's not aligned with your inner purity. You don't feel good if you do something like that. So if somebody comes to you, I told you, it's a funny example, isn't it? If somebody comes to you and would like you to talk dirty, by saying no to that, actually you say yes to you having an elevated level of speech, using a pure, beautiful, harmonious language. We can think like that because if we rephrase saying no, then we will understand that actually we don't do something which is bad, because when we say no and we feel guilty, out of guilt or out of because we feel manipulated, we feel pressured, it's not good for us, and it's not good for the manipulator, because we just train them that works with us. They can continue to do that with us. They can still pressure us and manipulate us and come with emotional blackmail, because we will say yes. We can't say no. So it's not good for us, because it damages our self-respect, it damages our self-esteem, but it's not good for the other one either, because we just train them, we just teach them that having such a detrimental behavior, such a somehow harmful behavior, it's all right. They can just continue with it. So you have to assess for yourself every situation in your life and every encounter with another person. And when you feel pressured to say yes, though you don't want to, you need to see for yourself, do you want to say yes because you feel pressured, because you feel guilty, because you are afraid what the other one will think about you? Or is it something that comes along with your wishes, with your desires, something that is all right for you to do? And if it is, we are, for example, I have noticed that many times when there are people in a position of authority over us, it doesn't matter, a parent, a teacher, a spiritual mentor, it doesn't matter what type of title they have, but if they are in a position of authority in comparison to us, because they are in that position, for us we will feel pressure to say yes when they ask something from us, out of fear and sometimes out of guilt. But something that I also noticed quite often with the women that I work with, also with my female friends, in relationships, in love relationships, in couple relationships, women have the tendency to say yes many times, even when they don't want to, just because they want to keep peace in the couple, just because they want to have the harmony, just because the man is the one leading and therefore the woman should follow whatever speeches, whatever discourses, whatever narratives we use to justify why we say yes so often. There is a sense of guilt, there is a sense of even fear when we say yes to the man in our life, just because we think, let it be, I offer, I give from my side. It's all right again, it's all right again. No, it's not. You know something, a secret from the feminine and masculine psychology. Men respect, love, appreciate women who have big self-confidence and self-respect. The more independent they are, the more strength they have in their inner core, the more a man will value them and will appreciate them. Because when you have the dignity and the integrity to say no to things which you feel, you know for sure that they are not good for you, you will also gain the man's respect. Otherwise, if we say yes to no matter what all the time, you know the expression doormat, it's not by chance that it's called that. We will have, unfortunately, the surprise to notice that we've become one for men if we are in a situation like this, if this applies to us. So saying no, it's not a negative thing. Saying no actually to something which is not beneficial, which is not good, actually implies, you can shift the perspective, actually implies saying yes to whatever it is good, so the opposite of the bad thing you just said no to. And saying no doesn't mean that you are a bad person or a selfish person. No, it simply means you have integrity, you have self-respect, you have dignity, you have a certain inner strength, maturity. You are an independent being, sentient being, who is capable of discerning between right and wrong, good and bad. And you say no to the bad, and therefore you say yes to the good. And again, I say, in relationships there are plenty of times when we negotiate. How many times does this happen? Every single day. For example, I want to go outside for a walk because it's sunny weather, and my beautiful half would like to watch a movie indoors at home. We negotiate, and one of us will say yes and the other one will say no. I know there is also the possibility that I go out in the sunny weather and he stays home and watches a movie. But you see, we do these negotiations every single day because they are minor aspects. So with the minor aspect, it's all right to say yes sometimes. It's a give and take dynamics play in between the man and the woman. But saying yes all the time just because you are afraid or you feel guilty or you don't want to upset the other one to your detriment is really not a healthy choice. You can practice the art of saying no. Start with small things. So, center yourself, go inside, because we all have the so-called inner voice, or our essence, our core, our soul. You call it whatever you want. So, the true self, connect yourself to it, listen to it, and pay attention to what feeling you have. And if the feeling is a strong no to whatever it is asked of you, and it is your soul that says no, then listen to it and say no. If it is only the lower part of you, the ego, the mental structure, that says no because you don't want to, like a toddler, I don't want to, then maybe you can reconsider and pay attention. Also think a little bit, a few steps ahead, think of the consequences. What will happen if you say yes to a certain request? What will happen if you say no to the same request? So if you do like this, if you take into consideration the consequences, if you take into consideration your integrity and your dignity, if you take into consideration the dynamic in the relationship, give and take, sometimes you say yes, sometimes you say no, you will notice that the more you learn the art of saying no to bigger and bigger aspects which are not aligned with your sense of integrity and dignity, the more your self-respect will grow, your self-esteem will grow, you will become more self-confident, you will start radiating a certain inner strength that actually somehow demands respect. And therefore, the other ones will not dare to ask you for things which are detrimental, which are not beneficial. So you will see, the more you awaken yourself and heighten your self-respect, self-esteem, self-confidence, and a deep sense of integrity and dignity, the more the other ones will pay you respect and will not even dare to ask you for things which are not good. Otherwise, they will, because something in you will emanate this energy. It's all right to ask or demand something like that from you, and nobody can live instead of you. You and only you know what is really good for you, for your soul, for your true self. Again, I'm not referring here to the personality or the ego, but our true self. You and only you have this inner voice that will tell you what's aligned with your core values, with your well-being, with simply your integrity as a human being. And you'll need to mount up the courage to say no. You'll be able to learn the art of saying no, because every single time you say no to something which is which is bad for you, every single time you say no to what is bad for you, actually you say yes to what is good for you. And that it's something which is healthy, which is natural, which is very good to train. If you felt inspired, please like it. I would love for you to comment, and please let me know how well you are with the art of saying no. What do you think about it? Let's have a conversation. I would love for us to have a conversation, even if it is through comments. And please like it, share it, follow, subscribe if you want to receive more. Until next week we meet, I wish you a blissful day. Bye for now.